Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Friday, the 10th of December 2021. Today was a big day for the under 23s. Big game for them. I told you about it yesterday. So how did they get on? Well, they won. They absolutely smashed it. Fantastic result from them. And they won 1-0. Yeah. So this is the match report from millfc.co.uk. Under 23s halt Cardiff's winning run. Tyrese Briscoe was the match winner as Mill's under 23s defeated Cardiff City under 23s 1-0 at the Den in the Professional Development League on Friday afternoon. The striker finished off a classy move in the 37th minute to give Kevin Nugent's side all 3 points and also inflict a first loss of the season on Cardiff City, who had won all 11 games played so far this campaign. That really was a fantastic result to beat that team. Nugent was able to name Ben Thompson in his lineup to face the Bluebirds, whilst there was also a return from injury for Tyler Burry. After an exchange of opportunities in the opening half hour, Mill took the lead just 8 minutes before half time as Thompson's fantastic long ball found Kai Garande on the left. He crossed for Briscoe, who finished off the passage of play to score the only goal of the game. Tyler Burry played 45 minutes on his return from injury. Next up for Mill under 23s is a long trip to Swansea City on Monday, the 20th of December. And the Mill team was Gilmore, Smith, Garande, Davis, Ockley, Topolodge, Burry, Thompson, Ben Thompson, Briscoe, Abdul Malik, and Boateng. And the subs were Drozd for Burry at half time, Babajide, 61 minutes for Thompson, and Walker, 88 minutes for Abdul Malik. Subs not used, Hammond and Kayuzu. So there you go. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And a lot of bookings there in that game. Ockley, Topolodge, Briscoe and Boateng booked for Millwall. And bookings for Cardiff City as well. But yeah, fantastic result. Really good result. And good to see. And here's some pictures from the day. Cardiff wearing pink. Did that affect it? I don't know. There you can see. Just going through the pictures here. So yeah, fantastic result. Ben Thompson getting involved again, helped set up the goal. Apparently some good saves from Gilmore as well. So all round, very decent team performance there. Very decent. So let's see what the manager has to say. So Nugent on toppling table topping Bluebirds. Read from the under 23s boss. Kevin Nugent thought his under 23s side deserved their 1-0 win over Cardiff City on Friday afternoon. Tyrese Briscoe scored the only goal of the game in the 37th minute to halt the Bluebirds' run of winning every game played so far this season. It was a deserved win, the boss told millfc.co.uk. We played very well in the first half, and that's against a team who won every game up until now. It was nice for us to break that cycle. It was a really hard fought game. In the second half we weren't as good as we were in the first, but we still managed to find a way to win the game. At the same time though, we still managed to create a few chances for ourselves. The goal came from a fantastic ball from Tomo and a nice cross from Kai. With Alfie Allen and Sean O'Brien missing out for injury, Jaden Davis was deployed in a more central role, a place that his manager thought he excelled in. Jaden did well in the middle. We know he can handle the ball when he gets on it. We fought that today against a team of that quality. We needed a disciplined performance. We got a lot of creative and attacking players, but we also need to make sure we have a nice balance behind the ball as well. So there you go. Fantastic, gritty performance from players who like to be a bit more creative. It's fantastic. And Tyler Burry playing 45 minutes, so he's back. Let's see how he feels tomorrow. Is he still fit? And then you would imagine that he gets to go back on loan to Hartlepool, you would imagine. But seeing as the loan was supposed to end in January anyway, so I think it was anyway. Yeah. So you go there for a couple of weeks, and then we see if we extend it or not. Or if not, then you can go on loan to another club, or come back to Millwall. And those are the options. I think he can only play for 2 clubs in a year. So there you go. But good to see Tyler Berry back. Good to see Ben Thompson playing. Fantastic stuff. So we got this from millwallfc.co.uk. So they've put out another statement. They put out a statement the other day because the government have moved England into Plan B of the COVID stuff. So Millwall issued COVID-19 check guidance. So what's happening? So Millwall Football Club can confirm that negative lateral flow test or COVID-19 vaccine passport certification is now a condition of entry to matches at the Den. You can now find out how to show either by clicking here. So they've got their little thing here. Let's click on that and see what they say. So they've been busy doing this. So yeah, you need to download the app. So what if you don't? What if you don't have the app? What if your phone battery's dead because you've been stuck in traffic? It's all a bit screwy, isn't it? Let's go back. Checks will be made as you pass through the turnstile, so please have the appropriate evidence prepared and to hand to help ensure prompt entry. Whilst we do everything we can to ensure the check-in process is as quick as possible, please do arrive earlier at the stadium than you normally would do to assist staff in these extra endeavours and to guarantee you are in your seat before kick-off. Owing to new government advice, face coverings are now mandatory in indoor areas. Please wear them as you walk through concourse areas, to toilets and in other areas of the stadium. You do not need to wear one when seated. Then what's the point? Because that's when you're going to be closer to anyone. That's when you're going to be close to people as well. So what is the point? If you are experiencing any symptoms of COVID-19, then please do not attend the Den. The club asks that the supporters respect the staff having to carry out these checks. As demonstrated in yesterday's statement, the club feels frustrated by the introduction of these measures, but must comply in order to ensure matches can go ahead without any capacity restrictions. The club is still awaiting clarity on guidance for under 18s and will communicate this as soon as it is received. The support and cooperation of fans is greatly appreciated. So they're carrying on with. So it says they don't want to restrict the capacity, even though I believe if they restrict the capacity under 210,000, then they won't have to do this. But there's also a weird thing that 4,000 people who attend an outdoor event that isn't seated, and a lot of the EFL have put out a statement saying that includes football matches where you're standing and non-league games, which makes no sense to me. So what if it's 4,000 seated? This whole thing makes absolutely no sense. But the club put out another statement, and the club is still waiting clarity on guidance for under 18s and will communicate this as soon as it is received. What are you going to do, huh? We got this story from newsathen.co.uk today. Discussions ongoing at Millwall over defensive plans. A centre-back likely to stay at Leyton Orient. Gary Rowett said there is an ongoing discussion between staff and the recruitment department over potential defensive reinforcements in January. So it looks like they might. Are they trying to get someone in on loan to come in? So they really don't want to play any kids, do they? They don't want to give anyone a chance at all. Doesn't matter how well they're playing in League 2, League 1, wherever they are on loan to. They really don't want to give anyone a chance. So Danny Ballard, knee, and Ryan Leonard, ankle, are expected to be out to at least well into February after their surgeries. It deprives the Lions of a right-sided centre-back and right wing-back. Rowett was asked if ideally the club recruit two players or one who could cover both positions. That's an ongoing discussion at the moment between myself, the coaching staff, and the recruitment team. Rowett told Newsden. We're a little bit light in those areas, but we're probably only going to be light until around February. We have got players who can play there. Billy Mitchell has played right wing back. We've got players to cover different areas. However, it's something we need to look at and be conscious that we haven't got quite as many options as we'd like. And we'll see what's around really in January and whether we actually do anything or not. There's going to be a debate to be had, and that debate will be ongoing. So if there are players available, they might take them in. Maybe a loan, another loan. Maybe some older player, maybe. Not as old as Alex Pearce, but maybe that kind of player. I don't know. Maybe someone who's on the way out of another club, and the club will just try and get some cash in by getting a loan fee or trying to free up some money themselves. And we can loan them in. I don't know. Maybe someone from Crystal Palace. Don't know. Mill currently have no plans to recall Alex Mitchell from Leyton Orient. The centre-back has been a regular in the team in League 2, but was left out of their 2 FA Cup games. That would give the Lions of the option of taking a look at him in that competition. So exactly, if they had no plans, they got no plans to recall him, but they have the foresight not to let him play in the FA Cup games in case he does get recalled. So that's a plan. Isn't that a plan? You're planning in case you plan to recall him. And I'm not digging that out. That's clever. I said that was whoever's idea that was a really good idea to look that far forward and think, we've got players with injuries. We've had Hutchinson out. We've had Murray Wallace out. We've had now Danny Ballard's out a long time. We've had a lot of the defenders going out with injuries. Don't let Alex Mitchell play in the FA Cup because you might need him to play in it. That is a very smart position to take, and to do it so far forward because the FA Cup first round was in November. So that was fantastic. But so they're not planning. Maybe they're not planning to do it, but they're be prepared in case it happens. That would give the Rowett was also asked if Mitchell could be brought back to cover the centre back position, or if going from League 2 to the Championship would be too big a jump for the 19-year-old. Rowett said, "I don't think it's too big a jump. I think it's one of the possible couple of different jumps he can make to get in our team." What does that mean? Weird. That's what we try and do with all our young players, to get them out playing at a level where if they do well, it certainly gives us food for thought about the next step for them, whether that's a League 1 club, whether that's to come back into our first team, whatever that is. So they're going to recall him and send him out to a League 1 club this season. Then he won't be able to play for Millwall. So that's weird. So Alex has done really well. I spoke to Kenny Jackett recently. Kenny rang me and said he's been really pleased with him. Our intentions at this moment in time are to leave him out playing and developing. He's played in games and has had a fantastic start to life in men's football, if you like. Full-time football at a professional level. He's done really well. Our intention is that he stays out, develops, and has a really strong season. I think that will be more beneficial than coming back and featuring a little bit in our games, but maybe not starting games. That would be the situation at the moment. So that's interesting. So what League 1 club would he go to? Dare I say it? If he's staying in the area, so he stayed in the area to go to Leyton Orient. Could he go to Charlton? Dunno. Gillingham? AFC Wimbledon? Who knows? Who knows? That's interesting. So he said I don't think it's too big of a jump. I think it's one of a possible couple of different jumps he can make to get in our team. What does that mean? What does that mean? So basically, he's saying he can jump straight into the team from playing well at League 2 Leyton Orient, then coming into the first team squad and maybe being the first option sub. That if anything happens, he comes in off the bench, and maybe they give him time if there's at the end of games like they did to Alex Pearce for instance, just to give him some game time. Or they recall him and send him on loan to a League 1 club to give him that extra step. But then it means he probably won't be able to play. I don't think they can do that because he played for us in the League Cup. So if that rule that was in place a couple of years ago is still in place, then he can't do that because he's played for Millwall in this season and he's played for Leyton Orient. So that he's done. He can only play for us or them unless they change the rules. I don't know. Okay, but so is that for next season? They're going to loan him out to a League 1 club next season. Damn. Okay, so maybe they might be trying to loan someone in. Loan a defender in. Weird. Okay. So, okay, let's get to the business, the real business. Peterborough versus Millwall tomorrow, Saturday, 11th December, 3 o'clock kickoff. As you can see, we are 8th in the table. A win would be very nice, as the team in the playoff position, Stoke, are just out of reach, 4 points ahead of us. So a win would very much be desired to close that gap. And news@den.co.uk put some effort into match preview. They come out with some stats. Championship preview: Peterborough United versus Millwall. Lions sell out, excites defender. You could probably guess what Millwall fans were thinking when they heard Peterborough are on their longest run without scoring in 20 years. Hand them the 3 points now. It's the kind of statistic that brings out the fatalism in a supporter. There is also the fact that the Lions have conceded 5 goals on each of their last 2 visits to London Road. A 5-3 defeat and a 5-1 defeat in League 1 in 2015 and 2016 respectively. Posh have blanked in their last 5 games against Fulham, Stoke, Blackburn, Barnsley and Nottingham Forest. Darren Ferguson's side haven't won since a 2-1 victory at home to QPR on October 23 and are 22nd in the Championship table, 5 points off Cardiff, as the bottom 3 are in danger of being cut adrift. Ferguson sensed deja vu at Forest. It was the same old story, he said. We played well for large parts. We had 2 very good chances at 0-0. And we have to take one. I keep saying the same things, but I can't change what I see. When we were on top, we just had to get ahead, and we didn't do that. And here's the tweet that they were talking about. Posh are now on their longest goalless run for nearly 20 years. The last time they failed to score for 5 successive games was August to September 2002, and that was a 7 game. So if they don't score against us, that will be 6. So it's nearly getting that long. So they could be record breakers in a couple of games. Millwall will hope to pile the misery on Peterborough, but going into the game without Ryan Leonard and Daniel Ballard, who are both out for the next 3 months, while Lions manager Gary Rowett has had his options diminished. In defence, he has lots of different ways of setting up his attack. Rowett has paired Tom Bradshaw and Benekovic recently, and that has paid dividends. The duo getting 6 goals and 2 assists between them in 6 games. Rowett has played a 2 and a 3-man attack this season in different setups. In the 3-1 win against Birmingham last Saturday, Jed Wallace was often in a free role behind Afobe and Bradshaw. Afobe is excited by the potential of the forwards. He said, In this team, what I like about our forwards is every single one of us is completely different, bringing different things to the team and the squad. As much as it's nice to play with Jed Wallace and Mason Bennett, it's also nice to play with Tom Bradshaw, Matt Smith, Shea Yojo. I played with Conor Mahoney at Bournemouth. Everyone in the team brings different qualities. Millwall confirmed this week that they had sold out their full allocation in the way in the London Road, 2,356. After their second highest home attendance of the season against Blues last weekend, and their best performance of the season, and probably arguably in Gary Rowett's whole time as manager, defender Danny McNamara wants the side to build on that win in front of a bumper travelling crowd on Saturday. We've sold out our allocation, which will be a massive boost for us. We've got to try and put in another performance like we did on Saturday, McNamara said. We've got a good side this season. The depth we've got is so important for us to push on. If we can stay near the top 6 in January, hopefully we can kick on and try and secure a playoff spot. It's nice at the moment to have a bit of a break between each game because we know we've got a big period coming up in a few weeks. Me personally, I like to play Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. It keeps the momentum going, especially if you're winning games. You just want to keep them coming around quickly. But it's nice to have this little rest now and get ourselves ready for a big period coming up. And they give a potential starting 11 there, but who knows? Who knows what the team's going to be? You haven't got a clue. So let's have a look at the history. We've seen some of the history there. So we haven't played them that many times because they were a late comer into the league, I believe. First time we played them was in 1960 when we were not in a good shape. We were in Division 4, right at the bottom. I think, not a good place for us. Division 3 South, kind of different as regional. You could say it's not really the 4th division. They're not really the 3rd division because it was regionalised. But Division 4 was an absolute pit. And we were there. And we lost our first game against Peterborough away. We lost 4-2. And 2 years later, 1962, also in November, we lost 6-0. There's been some massive defeats, as you can have. We've already seen the last 2 results here. These ones, 5-1 defeat and 5-3. So it's a fixture that goes all over the place. We've also got in 1992, 1993. For some reason, looking here, we played them in September. 5 games in a row, which is weird. But you can see here, 1992 and 1993, there were 2 0-0s. And then you got the 6-0, the 4-2, the 5-3, the 5-1. It's all over the place. We got 3 draws and then 5 wins and 6 losses. So it's just completely all over the place. 4 draws overall. It's all over the place. We've played them in the League Cup once at their place and lost 2-0. So it is really roll the dice, random kind of thing. Not really any way to predict anything here. So let's have a look at the is it this one? Oh, it's this one. So yeah, the last 6 results. We've got 3 wins for them, 3 wins for us, and 0 draws. So we're due a draw. Are we due a draw? Now, a draw against Peterborough would be a bad result. It wouldn't be. I wouldn't want to. Nah, it's just no. We can't be drawing against them if we've got any aspirations in this league. So we had a red card in the game in 2008 on Boxing Day. Okay. Let's have a look at the match facts. These are always a little mildly interesting. Don't get too carried away. Peterborough failed to score in the last 5 matches. Yes, News at 10 told us that. Peterborough have seen over 2.5 goals in their last 4 home matches against Millwall in all competitions. That is true. The last 4 games at Peterborough, there have been 6 goals, 8 goals, 3 goals, and 3 goals. There have been under 2.5 goals scored in 5 of Peterborough's last 6 games in the Championship. So recent form, not many goals. Peterborough have failed to win in their last 7 matches. Okay. So, let's scroll past this crap. Damn. So here we are in the table. We are 8th, 795. 23 goals for, 22 against, plus 1 goal difference. Peterborough are minus 23 goal difference. They won 4, drawn 4, lost 13. Scored 17. So they've scored less than us, and we don't score a lot. But they've conceded 40. Damn. So let's have a look at the form table. So they're 22nd in the actual table. Where are they in the form table? Oh no, they are rock bottom in the form table. We are at the same place in the form table now where we are in the real table, 8th. So that's the last 6 games there. You can see we've got 9 points. They've got 2. They haven't won in the last 6 games. Only drawn 2 games. They've only, oh my god, they've only scored once. In the last 6 games, they've only scored once. And they conceded 8. Come on, we gotta be beating. We gotta be beating shit like this. Fucking hell. If we don't beat them, then what are we doing? Let me organise this so it'll go like. Did it change? I don't think it did. It didn't do anything. My internet cut out? Okay, that didn't do anything. Okay, this seems to be broken because it's not fixing it, which is a shame, but it is what it is. I don't know. Wow, there you go. There's his weaknesses. Long list of weaknesses there. A lot of strengths there for Millwall. Pause it and have a look if you want. I'm going to move on. Match forecast: Millwall dominating the air. Maybe is this a game for Matt Smith? He hasn't played in a while. Maybe, I don't know. Millwall control the game in the opposition's half. Millwall will create many scoring chances. That, yes, fantastic. Hopefully. So what do they say? What is the prediction? So, like I said, should we even be looking? They got Ballard in as a player potentially starting. So they don't really know what they're doing here. Prediction: a recent contract renewal has given Peterborough manager Darren Ferguson some personal stability, but the Posh will need to put a swift end to a 7-game winless run if they are to hang on to 21st place Cardiff. The hosts have fallen 5 points off the pace in a race for survival. Gary Rowett's tenure as Millwall manager has been synonymous with 1-goal margins, but the Lions boss enjoyed a straightforward afternoon last weekend as they cruised to a 3-1 home win against Birmingham. The London club have won just one of their last 5 league games but rest in 8th place, just 4 points off the pace in a battle for 6. And they predict Peterborough 0, Millwall 1. Okay, that is interesting. Let's move on now to the final piece of this video before I give you my prediction. David Prutton, Sky Bet Championship predictions. What does he say? This is from skysports.com. Let's have a scroll down. How far down are we, do you reckon? Are we all the way down at the bottom? Probably. Peterborough Millwall doesn't set the neutral hearts aflutter, does it really? I mean, we care because we're Millwall fans. I'm still scrolling down. Ah, here we go. So, he predicts Peterborough 1, Millwall 2. Which is interesting, yeah. They're both going for a win. They're both going for a 1-goal margin win. They actually reckon Peterborough are going to score a goal. They reckon we're going to score 2. Now the other website, whoscored.com, said it was going to be 1-0, so we're giving us a clean sheet. Yeah, I think they're banging trouble, aren't they? I think they are banging trouble. Now, usually this is the kind of game where you would be worried. You would think they would look at the Millwall game as a potential chance for them to get some points on the board. But we need to be winning games like this, and I think the players know that. They've had a whole week to prepare for this. We had a fantastic result today from the under-23s. I'm sure that contributes to the atmosphere at the club about the bonhomie and stuff. I'm sure it does. That fantastic result against a team that had won all of their games so far this season. Yeah, I think it's gonna be Peterborough 0, Millwall 2. I think we're gonna score in the first half, and then I think we're gonna score in the second half. Then I think we're gonna go shut down and just see the game out, get the clean sheet. So I think it would be a bit scary at the end, because I think we're gonna be a bit too much defending. I think we're gonna defend a little too hard and bring it on, and I think Bartman will have to make some really good saves at the end, because I think we're going to invite too much pressure on. But yeah, I'm going to go Peterborough 0, Millwall 2. So there you go. Thank you for watching the video, and goodbye.